Hello all. So from this session we are going to start with module 4 of biomedical instrumentation. So at first, cardiac pacemakers. So what is the need of using these pacemakers and when we use it? Okay. So before that, going into heart functioning, we know that heart pumps blood out. Okay. That is, it will get contract and relaxed state. That is, heart pumps when when the ventricular contraction relaxation takes place. So when did this ventricular contraction takes place? During which the heart will pumps the blood out of the heart through the artery. Okay. So when did this ventricular contraction takes place? How it will happen? It happens when the it happens when the pulses, that is electrical pulses, which is generated by sinoatrial node at the right atrium, travels towards the AV node, and from the AV node through the bundle of His and Purkinje fibers to the walls of the ventricles, to the myocardium of the ventricles. Okay, so when this electrical pulses generated by this SA node reaches the ventricular walls, the ventricles will get contracted and the blood will pumps out. Okay, so what happens if there is a block in this pathway? That is, the pulse is generated in SC node, and during its traveling to the ventricular walls, if there is any distraction to the pulse traveling, what will happen? Then the heart pumping rate will get varied. Okay. Similarly, if the SA node is not functioning properly, what will happen? That is, usually there will be a time rate by which this SA node will generate pulses. What happens if this rate will go deferred? Then also the rate of pumping of the heart will get varied. Okay. So under these conditions, there are various heart issues that may arise. Okay. So due to which we use or we have developed electronic pacemakers. Okay, so this cardiac pacemakers, it is an electronic stimulator that produce periodic electric pulses that are conducted to electrodes located on the surface of heart, within heart muscles or within the cavity of heart or the lining of the heart. So it is used for treatment of cardiac rhythm disorders, abnormalities in SA node, AV node and Purkinje system, as I have told. Okay. So here I have described what are the various problems that may occur to the pumping or functioning of the heart when the SA node impulses doesn't travel or doesn't generate properly towards the ventricular walls. These are the various issues that may happen to the heart: arrhythmia, bradycardia, heart blocks. You may just go through these slides. I will share the slides with you. Okay, so let us move on to pacemaker systems. There are two types of pacemakers that we will classify them as we classify them: internal and external pacemakers. A device capable of generating artificial pacing impulse and delivering them to the heart is known as a pacemaker system. And it consists of a pulse generator, which is a must because this pacemaker will act as an artificial SA node. It will generate a pulse. Okay, so it will consist of a pulse generator and appropriate electrodes. Electrodes are for delivering these pulses to the heart of a human being. Okay, so they are classified into external and internal pacemakers. So at first, what is internal pacemaker? Internal pacemakers are those pacemakers that we will permanently implant within the human body or within the patients. So that patients will be having SA nodes which are failed to function properly or suffer from permanent heart block because of heart attack. So in such patients we will place these pacemakers permanently. and they are called as internal pacemakers. Okay, the internal pacemaker is defined as one in which the entire system is inside the body, and they are used in cases where long-term pacing is required because of permanent damage that prevents the normal cardiac operations. Okay, so the internal pacemaker systems are implanted with pulse generator placed in surgically formed pocket below the right or left clavicle in the left subcostal area, or if in women, beneath the left or right major pectoral muscles. Okay. Now the internal leads connect to the electrodes that directly contact the inside of the right ventricle or the surface of the myocardium. And the pulse generator, the part which will generate the pulse. The exact location of this pulse generator depends upon the electrode used for this pacemaker and the nature of cardiac dysfunction. That is, what is the nature of the issue that a patient is facing. Depending upon that, the location of this pulse generator may get varied, and also on the method of pacing that may be prescribed. So, in this internal pacemakers, there will be no external permanent connection. The whole system is implanted internally at some surgically developed pocket. Okay, so there are no external connections for applying power. The pulse generator must be completely self-contained. That's why. And so for that, what we require, we need a power source which is capable of continuously operating the unit for a period of years. Okay. So that is internal pacemaker, and here you can see the figure how it is implanted in a heart. So like this we will implant this pacemaker in these figures. There is internal pacemaker. Next, external pacemaker. External pacemaker, this usually consists of an externally wound pulse generator which is connected to electrodes located on or within the myocardium. Okay, so external pacemaker will be having the system outside the human body, and the external pacemakers are used in patients with temporary heart irregularities, such as those encountered in a coronary patient, including heart blocks. They are also used for temporary management of certain arrhythmias, and which will be occurring in patients with critical post-operative periods and also in patients during cardiac surgery, and especially if the surgery involves some valves or septum. Okay, and these external pacemakers will include the pulse generator, or whatever components included in it will be located outside the body. And how this outside system is connected to heart, it is through lead wires introduced into right ventricle through cardiac catheter. Through the catheter we will implant these wires which will connect the external pulse generator and other components with the heart. Okay, so this pulse generator, where we need to keep it, we need to tie it to the human body, right? So it will be strapped to lower arm of a patient who is confined to bed or worn at the midsection of an ambulatory. So here you can see figure of external pacemakers. So this is the heart, and through the lead wires we are connecting this external pacemaker to the heart through these wires. Okay, so enlarged view of this pacemaker is shown here. This is the pacemaker and this is the pulse generator and other components, and the pulse from this is given to the heart through lead wires. Okay, so this is it. This is the modern structure. Okay, nowadays these are the type of external pacemakers used, and previously we were using this type of device. It is somewhat enlarged comparing to this. Also, that's why they're somewhat difficult to carry, and they are tied by a belt to human body, sometimes to the arm or to the waist. So here, one comparison of this external and internal pacemaker is given. Just go through this comparison points. So this is the electronic pacemaker block diagram. You can see various blocks here, and the functioning is also given inside. So what is this timing circuit? This timing circuit determines the basic timing rate of the pulse generator, and it consists of an RC network, a reference voltage source, a comparator, etc. All these components are within this timing circuit. Okay. So next one is pulse width circuit. The simulating pulse duration, it is determined by the pulse width circuit, and it is triggered by the output from the timing circuit. It is connected from the timing circuit. The output of timing circuit is given to the pulse circuit. Therefore, it is triggered by this timing circuit signal. Okay. The pulse width circuit is also an RC circuit as the timing circuit, and the output of the pulse width circuit is fed into the phase limiting circuit. This is phase limiting circuit. And what is this phase limiting circuit? The function of this one is to limit the pacing rate. Phase limiting circuit limits the pacing rate, and the maximum pacing rate is usually selected as 120 pulses per minute, and this phase limit circuit limit the pacing rate by disabling the comparator for a preset interval of time. It will disable the comparator for a particular period of time. It will be having a comparator inside it. It will disable it for a particular period of time, and by this action it will delay the pace limit. Okay, so the output of this is given to the Hertz simulator circuit. Hertz stimulator circuit, it is an output circuit. It will provide proper input pulse to stimulate the heart, and hence it is called as Hertz stimulator circuit. Okay, you can see the output of this Hertz stimulator circuit is given to. Okay, so this Hertz simulator is also connected to refractory circuit. So this refractory circuit, it will provide a period of time following an output pulse or sensed R wave. That is, when this refractory circuit senses an R wave, it will provide a time delay. So during this time, the amplifier will not respond to outside signals. So what is this R wave sensing circuit? What will happen when this sensed R wave? When the R wave is sensed, it will give a particular period, and during this time, amplifier will not respond to outside signals. So this sensed R wave is sensed and processed within this R wave sensing circuit, and the main function is to detect or spontaneously respond to this R wave of the circuit. Okay, and another function is to reset the oscillator when the pulse is not needed. Okay, so when R wave is not sensed or during the other time, the oscillator should be reset. It is done by this R wave sensing circuit. Reversion circuit. This reversion circuit or return circuit we can call, it allows the amplifier to detect a spontaneous R wave. Okay, so when this R wave sensing circuit senses a spontaneous R wave, what will happen? In the absence of this R wave, the circuit will again allows the oscillator to generate pulses at its preset rate. Next one, reversion circuit or return circuit. So this circuit will allows the oscillator to generate pulses at its preset rate in the absence of R wave. So if no R wave input is obtained from this R wave sensing circuit, then it will allows this oscillator to generate pulses at the rate which is at which the oscillator is developed. Okay, so that is the purpose of this reversion circuit. And why it is known as reversion circuit or return circuit? Since it is allows the return path, since it allows the oscillator to return to its active state. Due to that, we are calling this circuit as reversion circuit. Okay. Why? Because this reversion circuit will allow the oscillator to produce pulses or to convert or revert back to active state when no R wave input is coming from the R wave sensing circuit. Okay, so that is why we are calling it as reversion circuit. The next one, voltage monitor and controller. This one. This circuit continuously monitors the battery voltage, and as the pacing rate is depending on the efficiency of battery, it has to be monitored regularly. And if the battery voltage is decreased, then it triggers the energy compensation and pulse duration controller circuit. So that is voltage monitor and control. And next one, energy compensation or pulse duration control circuit. If the battery voltage is decreased, the energy compensation circuit increases the pulse duration so that the pulses delivered to the patient are not affected by the battery charge loss. Okay, so the pulse which we are giving to the heart should be continuous one. We should not delay it, we should not compromise on it. So for that purpose, we need a backup if in case the battery fails. So that is this energy compensation of pulse duration controller circuit. Okay, next one, rate slowdown circuit. It is a special circuit which slows down the heart rate during certain conditions such as cell depletion. So the cell depletion is monitored by the voltage controller circuit. And whenever the cell depletion occurs, the monitor or controller circuit activates the rate slowdown circuit. Okay, so whenever the cell depletion takes place, this circuit will activate this one, rate slowdown circuit, and as a result, the cell depletion rate is, and as a result, the heart rate is decreased by this rate slowdown circuit. How it reduces the rate of the heart? By limiting the current to the basic timing network. It is connected to the timing circuit, so it can control this timing circuit by limiting the current provided to the timing circuit. Okay, so it is the working of this pacemaker block diagram, and this whole system will be implanted inside the whole metal structure, and there will be leads which will which is extending outwards, and through these leads we are giving these pulses to the heart. Leads or electrodes. Okay, so explanation is given in the other slides, you can go through. So that is about this class, and next session let us discuss about defibrillators.